fly. You know it's bullet.
And with all that being said, I've decided to continue my athletic and academic career at the Stanford University.
Yes, sir.
Network, it means everything to me. You know, back when I didn't have all these offers, maybe like one or two, you know, he was always promoting me, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get me on the radar, you know, this guy, you need to look out for him. You know what I'm saying? It really means, you know, the world to me. You know, Bacon, he's been there, like I said, since I've been small. You know, always shouting me out and you know, always just trying to put me on, just give me notice more than I mean. I really appreciate Bacon.
I mean, shoot, I was the new kid. Faison kind of was with the Ducks for a little minute. So my first year, of course, he had all the hype. He was probably by like 6'2" at 12. He was a mutant. I ain't gonna lie to you. He was a mutant. But I mean, from then you could see just the potential he had. I mean, I'm not surprised he's the number one quarterback. If you would have seen him in youth ball, you would have thought he was the number one quarterback in that class back then. So I mean, like going against him kind of like prepared you already for like what high school was. I mean, he looked like a high school quarterback around that time. So I mean, like trash talking with him. He's more quiet though. I will say that he don't talk that much trash. But I mean, like trash talking with him, going out there and hitting drills with Faison. I mean, that kind of like just builds you ready. I mean, hopefully I play against him in college. I would love it.
As y'all know, this is the Sizzling News Podcast. All right, what's going on, everybody, man? Welcome back to the Sizzling News Podcast, man. Y'all know what time it is, man. We got a lot in top for you guys for tonight. Hope everybody's having a great Monday. We got to talk about the portal. We got to talk about latest in high school football news, what's going on with Bacon, latest that he's seeing and what he's hearing from his ears, what's going on with Noonan, and so much more, man. So we appreciate everybody tuning in. And without further ado, I'm welcome on my co-host, Alvon Bacon, the Bacon Network.
What's going on, everybody, man? It's a good day. It's a good Monday. You know what I mean? Don't have too much of any inspirational words maybe as the show goes on, man, but action-packed show, man. A lot of tea leaves here today, so stay tuned, man. And now I'm about to, you know what I mean, about to go quiet. I'm about to try to connect my IG, my Twitter, man. I'm trying to connect my Twitter for the longest. StreamYard is wilding. What do you think?
Your phone is we can fix it. You might have to take it off and like try to re-add it.
I'll try it again, but I'm gonna put myself on mute so you don't hear an echo.
Gotcha, brother. Excuse me, no worries at all, man. So I'll take over as the host. So until Bacon gets his thing situated. But the biggest news, guys, we'll talk about to start off the show, man. John Reid, he officially retires. Obviously, this is big news. Had a winning record with Rome. Was a big part of what they did, what made them successful as a unit, as a team. We know dating back years, they've been to the semifinals, quarterfinals. They've made deep runs under his tutelage. And he is going to obviously retire now. And he's been well known, man. I mean, he's been a big part of a lot of big games out there in Rome and Northwest Georgia. You know, he's had a number of really good players. You look at this past year, Aiden McPherson. You look at Jeremy Winston, Darnell Collins. You know, he's had several guys, Reese Fountain, several good running backs, you know, linebackers. Like, this guy's always been able to produce elite athletes and players. Justin Terrell's another one that I thought about. So sad to see him go, but obviously this is the Georgia high school, you know what I'm saying, football coaching carousel. Like, we see people, you know, move every single year. Last year, the big one was obviously Coach Boone going all the way down to North Side, Warner Robins from Langston Hughes. This year, you know, this is obviously a big one. And then you have Santavius Bryant, who we'll talk about a little bit later here, you know, him going to Gainesville. So massive news. Going to be interesting to see who Rome brings in. I know they're very particular, and he's served in that role for a very long time. I think well more than 3 or 4 decades, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, he should be very intriguing one to watch going forward. But definitely a big move in high school football. And that's going to be interesting to see who they pick because they're involved in a lot of things, right? They at least, as a bare minimum, Rome is such a big brand, they at least get about 2 or 3 games on high school football television here in the state of Georgia, whether that's Peachtree Sports Network or that's GPB. They're always getting at least a couple games on the high school sports network. So it's going to be interesting to see who they bring in next and who's going to kind of be that cornerstone piece for the Rome Wolves moving forward.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. What it says, coach is the second paid high school coach, or was under Coach Joey King, man. So highly sought after coach. Highly sought after position. Rome is a flagship that hosts a lot of showcases up that way, man. And Rome's they had a string of state championships, early 2010s, mid 2010s. So it's a job that'll definitely go through its hiring criteria and hire the best candidate, man. So, but whoever gets it gonna be happy, man. Guess my brother will be right back, for sure. But interesting to see Coach retire, man. You can look at Coach, doesn't seem like an older guy. You know what I mean? Maybe seems early 50s. That's prime time. So, but man wants to retire. Sound like a smoke screen for a new position.
Then that's what it is.
That gotta be what it is. That's a lot of time sitting around.
Yeah, he's been coaching for a minute. He been at Rome since 2016. He won two back-to-back state championships when he first started. So that was obviously massive for him. Then he coached at Tift County, East Paulding, in the early 2000s, going into the 2010s, and then he started his career with Alcoa and William Blount in Tennessee before coming over to Georgia.
Yeah, I think that's his most memorable one. I believe he won that. Was coaching his son. I think he still got the photo of him winning the state championship in Tennessee on his wall in his basement. So his coach has been doing it for a while, like you said, man. But it's a long time to be sitting down. I'm not gonna say I've already said it most. I'm gonna stand on that smoke screen. It's a long time to be sitting down, but just wherever he goes, I'm sure he's already in contact or happy with it. But it's gonna be interesting to see who fills the seat.
Very interesting. All right, let's keep it rolling. Another big news. I just wanted to play. We ain't gonna play the whole clip, Bacon, but we'll play a little bit of it, a little inspirational. I know you over there a pretty good bit since it is in Carrollton. I know that's not that far of a drive from you.
Nah, I've never been in Bowden.
Never? Never
been to Bowden. Only time I've seen it, we rolled past and come back from Birmingham.
Gotcha. All right, well, we're gonna pull this video up real quick.
Head coach Rich Finley here, head coach of the Bowden Red Devils. Coming off another successful year, looking in the trophy case, 4 consecutive state championships. And we're at that time of year where we earn those things. We work for those things, where our football team for the fall is made. It is death by squat and death by bench time. Here is a long awaited annual hype video we do every year. I'm excited. First, I want to give some disclaimers out that no players or coaches were hurt during the process of this video, nor during death by squats and death by bench. Maybe some pride, maybe some ego, but not any players. Yes, we're now in the calm before the storm. As you can see, strategically placed trash cans for the death by squats. We do it every year. We're not changing anything. The weight room is quiet right now, but tomorrow morning around 8:25, there will be a bunch of Red Devils in here starting the quest for state championship number 5. There'll be a lot of metal, a lot of weights slamming around. So I'm excited. Enjoy the video. We have 2 famous college football coaches stopping by. We got an interview with Nick Saban and an interview with Mike Leach today. So enjoy the show. Death by squat, death by bench video is here. Nick Saban here. Coach Finley asked me to stop by and talk a little bit and answer some questions about off-season programs and what we do. So I'm here to take some questions. Who's got the first question for me?
Coach Saban, with all the national and conference titles you've won, will you still have an intense off-season? Like, what's the plan?
What kind of question is that? Like first of all, when you have success, you continue to do what you do to be successful. It's people like you and the people in this room who start asking questions, and then you make our kids second guess. You talk about how great they are, you blow them up and talk about how awesome they are, and then they start listening to you. And we want them to listen to us. I want them to listen to me of what we're going to do in the off season. Like, you know what I call that? I call that poison. It's poison. When you start talking about, hey, what you've been doing isn't good enough anymore, or y'all are playing so well, let's don't be as intense this off season. I call that poison. It's rat poison. And all that has to do is a few of our good players listen to your rat poison out here. And when they hear your rat poison, they're going to bring it back in the locker room. They're going to bring it back in the weight room. And then that kills what we're trying to build. All right? Do you want us to build, what we're trying to build here, or do you guys want to build it? Because I can just let you guys build it if that's what you want. I'll let you guys build it, and then we start losing games and we don't win championships. I can't even remember the question, and I'm just going to move on from that one. Next question, please.
All right, Coach Saban, will you still do the death by squats? And will the two-sport athletes go through the workouts as well?
Here we go again. Yeah, all you people are the same. Like, you're just like the young player, the young kid coming out of school. They think they have a lot of choices. Death by squats, or can we do something else? The standard's the standard, and it takes what it takes. So first of all, yes, we will be doing death by squats at Alabama. All right, the standard's the standard. You know, you don't have, there's an illusion of choices out there, and you people in the media, you put all these illusions of choice out there. Oh, do I do death by squats, or do I go to my personal trainer and let him get my legs strong and let him get me mentally tough for football? You know, that's not a choice. Oh, should I do death by squat, or should I go to club or LA Fitness in town and do my workouts there by myself? You know, the illusion of choices are always there, right? The illusion, but it takes what it takes. There's a process to go win championships. There's a process to get there, and it's death by squats. That's the process. All these other illusions you're throwing out to our players and makes them think that there's something else they can do to be successful. It's not there. You have to go through it. All right, you got to get in the hole. You got to put some heavy weight on your back, and death by squat. That's what gets us to where we're at. Choices are just an illusion, and you got to do what you got to do to go win football games. Now, before I leave, you know, I asked Coach Finley, you know, who were the weak links going into this offseason in the Bowden Red Devil program? Who needs to hear some pump-up stuff? Who needs to get motivated to live up to the standard and to keep raising the bar? And he dropped a few names. Paul Wilson, all right, please tape your ankle up tomorrow. Don't come in with a frowny face about your ankle hurting and not want to put some weight on your back, okay? You're lowering the bar. Takes what it takes. Lucky Bailey, nobody cares that you're wrestling and you've dropped weight, you weigh 161 pounds. All right, it takes what it takes. Connor Daniels, don't come in with a frowny face because you like squatting at the local gym in town. Come in with a mentality that there are no choices if you want to be great. Good luck, guys, tomorrow. Good luck, Bowden Red Devil football.
We'll leave it there, man. Look, y'all go check it out, man. Hold on, let me get us some love, man. Let me get us some love. Hold on, let me find it, man. That was hysterical, Megan. Hold on, I gotta give Bowden recruits some love, man. That was funny. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. All right, look, y'all go to this account, man. You hear me all right?
Yeah, you good.
Okay. Yo, y'all go to this account, man. Bowden recruits. This is where we got the video from, man. I think it's hysterical, man. He dressed up basically as Saban and Leach giving the speech, but I thought it was a fun, creative way to kind of usher in the guys. Now, Coach Rich Finley, for those that don't know, he's always been kind of a guy that he don't mess around, right? It's the reason why they have 4 consecutive state championships, right? These boys start like literally like 2-3 weeks after they win the state championship, just like how Saban used to do. Like they watch it like the next day almost. You know what I'm saying? And they get right back into the routine. Some people don't like it. Some people call them out about it. I like Coach Finley. I think it's a great idea, and it's the reason why they've been so successful in winning. Now, say what you want. Oh, well, no, it's just a Class A Division II, or it's not 6A ball. It doesn't matter.
4 in a row?
They've won 4 in a row, bro. So clearly he's doing something right. And basically this is the offseason program. This is how he get his players right, death by squats. And I think he's building and molding great young men. So when they face adversity in life, they can overcome it. I mean, if you can come through this, regime, and you can come through this with what Coach Finley is doing, and you can come out on the other side, I don't see what's not going to prepare you for life, to me. But I thought it was a cool way to just kind of reinvent the wheel and make things interesting for his new players as he kind of unveils a new crop of talent. Because remember, all those boys won 2022 to 2026, they're gone. So this is a new era now. This is 2023s and 2024s and 2025s. I personally like it.
Yeah, I love this, man. If you're a fan, which I'm sure everybody by now has heard of, Diamond Jim, it's the same. I'm feeling the same vibe, man. So shout out to Coach Finley. Quote tweeted like, Coach, you know what I'm saying? If anybody from Bowden is watching this, gonna see this, love to come through and document that day for y'all. Obviously, we'll clean it up as much as we can, but we want to keep it as raw as possible, right? Just to show what it's like to be about in Red Devil. But I mean, this is exactly what you need to build off your point knowledge. Got to go through adversity in life to do what you want to do, especially going to 5 championships now. Not having a Caden Porthrow. People are like, man, the reason why they win this because Caden. Now we finna see. And you start in a couple weeks after winning state championship, death by squad. He did say something about death by bench, and I'm assuming that's the second phase. But this is how you build a championship program. So coaches that's watching this, take notes. This is how you do it.
I'm with you, Bacon, and everybody just believes it's Caden Proto or it's no, bro. Like he's been building this for a long time, and the reason they've been so successful, he challenges all his players, and he lets them play both sides of the ball. And it takes more than just one player to win a state championship, as you guys all know. We've seen an influx of talent go to one team, or teams across the state, and they don't win, right? But the difference is this is a collective unit together, and they all bought into one purpose, which is why he's able to get the most out of his players and why they're able to win titles. But like you said, Bacon, it's going to be an interesting season to see, what they're going to be able to do with obviously new classification switch and there being a new classification and obviously be more competition. But, I mean, who else would you want to be the leader, the figurehead, overseeing your program? To me, I feel like, I wouldn't want nobody else, in my opinion.
So you think he should be the highest paid coach in the land of Georgia?
I think he should be up there. I ain't gonna say highest paid, but I don't know what Coach Finley making, but he should be like top 5 to me, top 5 or top 10 for sure. You know what I'm saying? I think what he's doing on that prep level and 100%.
That's facts. And they're moving them in. Well, they're moving them in. Everybody's moving them in. We get ready to talk about a team that's moving them in. That's not winning as consistently. We just talked about it, but we'll say that for that topic.
Yes, sir. All right, let me find my thing because I just lost the page. Hold on one second. I'm gonna jump to the next one, Bacon. Sorry.
Nah, man, you good. You good, man.
So let's take this one. I think this one interesting. I'll start us off on this one, Bacon. But this is reported by QB Marcus. I thought this was real interesting news. Dante Williams, as he said, is interested, or Grayson is highly interested in Archer head coach Dante Williams to be their next football coach, which I think would not be a bad move. Now he's coached several good players in his career. Remember, he started off. He was with Collins Hill. He coached Travis Hunter, the Sam Horns, all those elite players. And then he's went over to Archer. And I think to a degree, don't call me crazy, but the talent level, not the same to me as compared to what he had at Collins Hill in those previous couple of seasons. And I think he's always had that team in the postseason and playing at a high level. No, has it been state championships? No. But to have lesser talent on what he's been able to do, I think that's great. And Lawrenceville to Loganville is not that big of a difference in terms of location, I think, for him. So I don't think it would be that bad of a drive, humbly. And I think it'd be great for him because, no disrespect, like I said, Archer has been a program, back in the days when they had, I can't think of the name.
Receivers.
No. They had a real well-known coach.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to look it up. But I think, for him and his cachet, that would be really good for him to get the Grayson job. We know they've been a powerhouse here in the state of Georgia. So for him to be able to coach them, I know they're gonna have new players in and different things like that. But he's gonna have an accruement of talent, right? He's gonna have the Riley Drews, the London Goggins in there. He's gonna have the TK Cunninghams, and he's gonna have Deuce Smith, who's gonna be there at the quarterback position. So he's gonna have pieces he needs in order to be successful. So I think it'd be huh?
Plethora. He got a loaded DB room.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, to your point, man. Archer football is Archer football. When I talk to people who's been at Archer or graduates from Archer, they're never too high on Archer. It's more of a social event. Of course, you just talked about his drop off coming from Sandy Creek, coming from Collins Hill, going to Grayson, going to Gwinnett. It'll be a step. It'll just put him back to what he's used to. I have no clue of how things were really running at Archer, other than knowing his resume coming from Collins Hill. But somebody's got to fill that role at Grayson, man. Somebody's got to pick up that torch and continue to keep that fire burning. Because we see what Coach Brian just went to for that cheddar. So we'll see how it goes.
Nah, facts. Yeah. And the coach I was trying to talk about was Andy Dyer. He was the one that led them to semifinals, led them to a state championship in 2014. That's when Archer was really on the map. And like I said, he had more talent back then compared to what kind of Coach Williams has kind of inherited. And he's always been a great coach. He's always wanted me around and come see his programs in his school. So I always had a profound respect for Coach Williams. But yeah, I think that'd be a great move for him, as you said. Bacon got him to playoffs 3 out of 4 years he's been there, and I think with Grayson he'll have way more talent, and like I said, he'll be able to kind of put himself. I won't say on that stool because he's always been there, but he'll at least be able to be more in the limelight. Because same with Rome, same with Grayson, always teams that are featured on TV, always good to be able to put the platform out there and be able to coach on that big stage.
That's facts. That's facts. That's facts. Yeah, man, but man can coach. Man can coach. That's all you need. He can coach. I'm cool. I'm just ready to see. I mean, you never want to rush the news. You never want to rush the process. I'm just ready to see how it all shakes down and comes out for next fall, to be honest with you, man. Breaking news, just breaking news.
That's it. And speaking of breaking news, we got more. Here's the high school football transfer portal. Bacon, I tried to tell you, it's already starting up. So anybody that's following on Instagram, if you subscribe to Bacon Network on Instagram or you following him on his YouTube, same for me. Hey, y'all hit me up, man. Y'all need to edit. Let us know, man. We break news too, man. We've done several big athletes. We did
Mooks.
We did Mook Money. Yep. He transferred from Woodward Academy to Langston Hughes. So we do high school too, man. We don't just do college. We do a little bit of everything. So this was Big Bacon, a heavily recruited player right here in David Parsons, 2027. He is going to Douglas County. So obviously we know they've been active in the portal. This is their first get, and then they also got one more player I wanted to show you real quick. Bacon, a young gun, 2029. Chase Edelton, transfer from Pebblebrook to Douglas County for 2026. So he'll still have 3 years of eligibility. He'll be entering into his sophomore season. But let's react to the first one because the first one's big. They've needed some defensive line, help. Obviously, losing Jordan Carter, Bacon, losing a couple pieces at the edge position. So they're going to need him. But what is your thoughts on kind of Douglas County already hitting that portal?
Yeah, this is not a surprise for Douglas County hitting the portal, man. They like you said, they're probably the most active team, one of the most active teams in the portal. When you look at David Parsons coming to Douglas County, turn on his film, player that likes to come down here, could play standing, could play with his hand in the dirt. To me, he should be the bona fide leader of this defense going into next year. That's just my opinion. They were missing a legit, I think, high 4-star, 5-star guy, potential 5-star guy in the linebacker room. He fills that void for them. Now, I mean, the whole question for Douglas County, as they plucked 2 off the board early. You're going to get developed down there. You're going to get media things, which is all good. But can this team win? Can they get to the Benz outside the Corky Kell Classic and host up the trophy? I like Coach White. I like Coach Steen. I like everybody at Douglas County. Coach Hill. But we gotta, we gotta get this job done. The money's gotta make sense. It's gotta add up come December.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm at a point now. I love that program, but I'm gonna have to see it. No disrespect to Douglas County. This was the year, man. They had the most influx of talent you could have. I thought, on both sides of the ball. Jordan Carter, KJ Green, Devin Carter, Aaron Gregory, Michael Hasty. You look at Rakeith Kelly. I mean, they had weapons galore, bro. This was the year Mike, and a lot of people criticize him, but I thought he had a decent year. Mike Johnson. So I don't know, man. I have to see it. They always make great moves, but like you said, Bacon, I think it comes down to, unfortunately, Douglas County's in a position where it's championship or bust. I hate to say it. They got to get to Benz. You know what I'm saying? At this point, Johnny White's a phenomenal coach. I like what he does. I like how he usually gets his teams ready to go and prepared. And I know he's gonna have them in several big non-region games this year. But it's just now, like you said, Bacon, it's taking the next step, playing meaningful football past the quarterfinals or semifinals, actually getting to the Benz and making noise.
Yeah, that's it. Man. You can't say they ain't playing that. They got to get over the hump some kind of way. We'll see who they bring in as the signal caller. That's going to be the biggest question mark for me. You bring in DJ Bordeaux, Mike Johnson. It's always controversy that extends beyond the field. So, man, they got to get people to buy in, man. That's the biggest thing when I go down to Douglas. Parents ain't bought in. That's a big problem, man. You got to deal with. It's already a lot being a head coach, dealing with players, dealing with egos, dealing with the concession stand. I'm not sure how to run things at Douglas, but usually the coach deals with the concession stand. Well, you got parents that's chirping and this, that, and third. It's a problem, bro. It's a cancer. And the parents, you know what I mean, you gotta let the coaches coach, let the players be players, and parent be a parent. If you do that, everything will fall into place.
100%. Couldn't have said that no better, brother. Thank you. Summed that up pretty well, man. All right, man. We got more breaking news. We're gonna leave that there with DC. I thought this was a massive loss. Per sources, I have a little bit of intel to break on this. Obviously, QB Marcus broke this first. With him stepping down, he's been linked to Monday's Mill. I heard that he is going to stay, per inside source within the program. He just is no longer going to coach, as per a source inside the program. So he will still be there. He just won't be the head coach for Lovejoy any longer, but he will still be with the Wildcats in the team, to say the least. Now, what does that all entail? I'm not sure, but he just won't be the head coach. So that is what I've heard per source.
That's interesting. Yeah, I knew you would have some intel. I seen your back door, man. I knew you have something funny, so I didn't do too much research on that. I said, nah, I just got this call. I'm just gonna give my opinion. But I know this team has been they've been on the rise past 2 years. They've been very competitive this year, or the most competitive. You know, I mean, lost some games down the stretch that they thought they were going to win.
Yes,
I think this team was building in the right direction, plucking a couple of players from other Southside teams. This is an athletic bunch, and to me, we're just a better throw of the ball away from making a deeper run in the postseason.
100%. And like you said, Bacon, as you always say, matchups are everything. So it's tough to go against Rome on the road, all the way up from the south side to northwest Georgia, and pull off a dub. So, you know, obviously all his class, his son graduated, Chad Fairchild graduated, Tim Sims graduated. You know, they lost several big players, you know, so it's going to be interesting. I would say this is probably a rebuild, retool year for Lovejoy. I don't think they're going to probably be as good. Only reason I say that, look at the region, right? They're gonna be in there with Creekside, Langston Hughes, like, you know, that's a tough region to compete in. I think Woodward is in there as well, if I'm not mistaken. So they're in a tough region, Bacon, and you know they do have some good young talent that's coming in and players that's gonna be ready to go. But I think at the same time, replacing him, who's a really damn good head coach, the new coach, they're obviously rebuilding the school, Bacon, redoing the stadium. Got a lot of good stuff going on at Lovejoy, but I think it's going to be a process. Right now, we might look at this team in another year or two when some of this sophomore class are juniors and seniors and be like, oh, damn, there's Lovejoy. But I think it might be a year or two before we see that because it's always growing pains, Bacon, when it's young talent and things like that. I think that'll probably be the case, unfortunately, for Lovejoy. But there'll be some valuable minutes in playing time for some of these young kids. So as they get to those critical years, those 2027s, 2028s, they can start getting on the field and producing at a high level.
So you've seen the talent that they have that's younger.
Yeah.
You can vouch for it. Okay.
Yeah, I can vouch for it. I like I said, I ain't gonna say they're gonna win a state championship, but they got a good edge rusher. They got a couple good DBs, some receivers, you know what I'm saying, that can play at a high level. Quarterback position still a little bit of a question mark. We'll see what kind of happens. They got a guy, but they still working through the pains of that. You know what I'm saying? Decent O-line. So they got some pieces in place where they can do it. But like I said, that this year, don't have that high expectation with the new change at coach, young guys. It's going to take a minute. But yes.
Now it's going to be, can they keep those players in-house? What'd you say?
That too. Facts.
Yeah.
That too. You know what I'm saying? Because you got, like you said, you got a transfer portal. So, and it's going to be interesting to see how Jonesboro looks because that's, I don't know if they're going to be in the same classification this year. I got to go back and relook at the new regions and stuff, but that's going to be big as well. Because like I said, Jonesboro's, they're a rebuilt program. Like you look at Coach Floyd, what he's doing, Coach Syrup and Coach Domo, we know them well. They're going to be losing a lot of their boys, but they got some young whippersnappers coming up too, right? They won the Clayco County championship for the lower grade,
school, right?
JV. For middle school and JV. So that kind of shows you. So, but it's going to be interesting. No Jonte no more. No Cortez, right? No Frank Jackson. New quarterback. No Ethan Sharp. So those are going to be some interesting teams to watch. But like I said, you're going to probably find a lot of Bacon, during the spring and stuff when we can start visiting some of these programs. But that's kind of latest on those two.
But Ben Boyd is coming back, right?
Who?
Benjamin Boyd, receiver. He might be gone though.
I think he might be gone.
Yeah, I think he's gone.
I think he might be gone.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir. All right, got one more coaching news before we move on. All right, so this is for Johns Creek. They have hired Jason Tester as your new head coach, previously Eastside DC and Fowley Branch head football coach. Now, I will say his units, his teams at Eastside always had a pretty good defensive unit, high caliber talent, played at a high level. You know what I'm saying? And he has good head coaching experience, in my opinion. But Johns Creek's a program, they got money. You know what I'm saying? It's securing that talent, right? They kind of have to go under, I don't want to say under a Milton, but with the facilities they have, I feel like the donors, even the alumni, like Johns Creek shouldn't be as bad as they are. But like I said, a lot of kids transfer out for better opportunities. I feel like the head coach of Room Bacon honestly has been a revolving door, you know, which is tough for the kids and the athletes. And I feel like it's hard. Now, at one point they was playing in you know, TV and the Corkel and doing what they were supposed to be doing, and then kind of got removed off. So they're in a tough spot as a program, in my opinion. You know, but this move should at least try to help them get back into competitiveness, you know, and hopefully starting to accrue a little bit of talent, developing talent. At least could be a competitive team in a classification.
That's it, man. I'm not sure. I don't know Coach Tester at all. But speaking to the mindset that you had to be coming into a job, you just got to come in you just got to come in and reset the culture. That's it.
Yeah.
Come in. That's it.
Period. We'll leave it there, man. Got to reset the culture. So again, this would be an interesting, you know, story to follow. Very interesting one to follow and see kind of what happens, you know, with Johns Creek if they get back to relevancy. You know, but big years coming up for them, and again, a program that usually has some pretty good talent, to say the least, man. So
yeah, young man, young coach should be able to resonate with kids, but you gotta understand the media aspect. The media aspect to me is big when you're going into situations of trying to restart something, reset it. You gotta work. You gotta grind the kids, but you have to work that media. People don't see what you got going on. I'm gonna continue to go to other schools with that.
period. Yeah, exposure is everything, man. Exposure is everything. All right, man. Let me pull this up. Shout out to Jimmy, brother. Appreciate you tuning in as always. What's up,
Okay.
fellas? Carver Columbus Stepper. We already know. Dynasty season. Shout out to Bowden. All right, Jimmy. Appreciate you tuning in, my brother. Goof 205. Y'all got a good one in Noah Carter talking about GT. I was hoping to see him get more playing time at Bama, but would definitely ball out for GT. Yeah, they need it. Georgia Tech, the pipeline from Alabama to Georgia Tech has been massive. Joseph Ayanata, Jalen Mbakwe is probably the best guy they got, and Noah Carter, eight tackles this year, 4 solo, 4 assisted. They need a game record. So, you know, I watched some of his film, quick first step, violent, relentless pursuit. They need that on the flats. They've been struggling mightily and just getting pressure and getting, you know, pieces in there that can play at a high level. So this is a big ad for them and what they're obviously trying to do, man. So yeah, 100% agree with you. I did a video on that on my TikTok and YouTube. Definitely a guy that should help them out a lot.
100%. If you don't know, Coach Key came from Alabama. He's from that Nick Saban coaching tree, though. How he's tied to, I mean, I understand he's still tied to the program, but with Kellen DeBoer running the show, it's a little surprising to me a little bit. Not a lot, but a little.
Well, let's see how surprised you are of this. Hold on. I know you know this player well, Bacon, so I expect you to have a full soliloquy on this one. I know you've seen him up close and personal, but boom. Breaking news. I know you know who this is, Bacon. Bo Hughley from Georgia to Colorado. I give you the floor, brother.
I mean, if you've been tapped into Bo's, or if you were tapped into Bo's recruitment before he committed to Georgia, you know he and Coach Prime have been talking. It just, I think at that time was a lot of uncertainty coming from Jackson. This is the first year Coach came from Jackson to Boulder. And, you know, if you want to go somewhere, you want to, man, I'm going on something uncertain. I can go to Georgia. I know what I'm going to get at Georgia. I know I'm going to get developed, though he said, I think 2 or 3 years. Bo Hughley to me, is a first-round type of talent. You're talking about someone who's 6'6", 6'7", trained and coached by Coach O Coach Larry O at Langston, so he's no joke. He's nothing to play with. So for Coach Prime to continue to check these boxes, I think Colorado is building something nice. But Coach Prime and Bo Hewley have they got a pretty tight connection. If you've been keeping up.
All right. So speaking of that, Bacon, let's pull up this move then. What did you think about this? Now, everybody that follows me on my platforms, I know I've reacted to all this, but I do want to get Bacon's take on some of these moves for Colorado. This is another massive one. Everyone said it wasn't worth it with all the offseason problems with him, Bacon. I don't know how well versed you are, but Boo Carter was one of the top players for Tennessee. Coming in, a lot of drama in the offseason, Bacon. Didn't look like a lot of players, several captains, Bacon wanted him kicked off the team for everything that was going on. He's missing meetings and times and all that stuff. Finished his career 63 tackles, 3 forced fumbles, 2 sacks, 3 PBUs or passes defense. I'll say this: when he plays on the field, Bacon plays at a high level, and I feel like he can have that Travis effect, not offensively but defensively for Coach Prime. Not offensively but defensively, and he's a player I think one of the best DBs in the portal besides Jalen Crawford for me. So, do you think he's worth the price of admission, Bacon? Do you think he was worth the money and maybe the potential headache that he could have? What are your thoughts on this move for Colorado? Because it's a massive one.
This is a massive move in terms of personnel. This is not a massive move in terms of breaking news, because we all remember there were talks. I won't say it was serious talk, but there were talks about him making a move then. I believe Tennessee flagged it down. I don't know if that was fake news, but I do remember specifically there being some news about Boo Carter talking to Coach Prime. I know they were heavy in his recruitment coming out of high school. Now, in regards to is it worth the risk, I say this time, I said this before, and I'll say this many times ahead. Coach Prime is the difference maker in bringing in specifically African-American and Black players to his program. Number one, Coach Prime is like a father figure to these young men. He plays DB, so it's easy to relate. Coach Prime's going to have a different standard. Not even just a different standard. Like I say, he's going to relate to these young men. He's going to bring them in. All right, this is not what we're going to do, and I'm going to send you on your way. That's just how it's going to go. Everything is business and strategic with Coach Prime. Coach Prime has been a rejuvenator of young men since he was coaching Little League, man. Kind of like similar to what Coach Snoop was doing out west. Coach Prime has been doing that in Texas, and now doing it in Jackson, now doing it in Boulder. So I think I want to say we won't hear too much about Boo Carter at Boulder, man. I'm gonna stick my neck out for Boo. Coming out of Chattanooga, real close friends with Ace Bailey. Seeing his friend have success at Utah, you gotta want to do the same thing and make it to the NFL for Boo Carter. I think going to Boulder, Colorado will only streamline him to that success and going to the NFL. Yeah,
I'm with you. I think this is a big year for him coming up. He's an NFL talent. I'm saying? Now it's just making sure the extracurriculars and the off-season, off the field stuff doesn't interfere. But I think it's a good move to go with Coach Prime. I know others will say, well, Cormani McLean didn't work out there. He had to come back. But remember, a lot of that with Cormani McLean was practice habits, right? Coach Prime don't play that. Like, he real serious. Like, if you ain't got the right habits and the practice habits, you're not going to see his field. You know what I'm saying? So you got to take that very seriously. So, that's the thing that happened in that situation. I know everybody goes like, whoa, Colorado, they have players that leave all the time and come in. That's how he retools his roster. Remember now, some of these players are leaving on their own, and some of these players, as Coach Prime is like, hey, yo, we're going to move in a different direction. You know what I'm saying? Because they can't have another year like how they had this past year, 3-9. It ain't going to work. It just ain't going to work. So, I think it's a good move for Boo. I think Colorado's been active in the portal. They got several high-end guys doing a really good job with the recruiting finish, I think. And you want to retool your roster. I mean, this is how you do it defensively. And you want to go get a dog. Yeah, Boo Carter's a dog. You know what I'm saying? So, NFL talent, just got to lock in for 1 year. And I think he's there.
And I'll say this, man. Boo Carter's going to be a guy that he can and probably will contribute on the special teams. If you think back to his high school film, they didn't have him playing special teams at Tennessee, very electric in the return game. It's either going to go very well or it's going to be a short stint, as to the point you brought up about Cormani McLean. And I also say this too. That's another thing that's a head scratcher about Colorado. You look at Kevin Byard, Miller, the receiver. I'm not too leery on Miller. He's spent I think two years in Boulder.
3.
3 years. Yes, I think he spent an extensive amount of time in Boulder. But Kevin Byard's little brother transferred out. I think 1 year, man. That's a head scratcher for me for Coach Prime. Like that's somebody I think you should keep or should try to keep in house. My question is hypothetically, right? Because nobody's gonna answer it. Is why did he leave? Was it because he didn't like the way the program was running, or did he just get offered more money? Because you know what I mean.
Yeah, nah, that's it too, though. I mean, no, 100%. I mean, I think a lot of these kids, they try to get their coin too. So some of it could be like the fit, tough season. I want to move in a different direction. I want to be more in the spotlight. I can make more money here. A lot of it's that because you could be making $1 million with Coach Prime or 800,000. Oh, we're gonna offer you $2 million. Y'all do it. You know what I'm saying? That'll do it. Like, you know, and then the situation may be worse for you. But a lot of the kids value like, hey, I'm gonna try to get my bread, my coin. You know what I'm saying? So I think it could be a combination of both.
Yeah, it could be a combination of both. Yeah, that's a good point, brother. That's a good point. He's out there in Boulder. Not sure what the NIL collective is looking like, but that was a question mark a lot of people had. He's out there in Boulder, Colorado. Can he keep up with big time ACC, SEC, Big 10, now Big 12? We'll get to talk about Texas A&M here shortly with the oil money, as Nas like to call it. But yeah, I mean, somebody got to start selling some bison steaks or something.
You ain't lying, brother. You ain't lying. All right, man. That's another more news before we talk about Texas and Texas A&M. Just players we know, Bacon. You know, that ended up committing elsewhere that we've been following for quite a while. But I thought this was big. Malcolm Simmons. I did an article today on it. For Georgia Tech, a player they should have definitely tried to be after. You know, had a big season, 457 yards, 25 catches, 2 tubs this year. Went off against Alabama. I think he had 143, 3 catches in the tub. You know, so a guy that's real electric and elite. Goes to Texas Tech. Like I said, the oil money is different. Great pickup for the Red Raiders. You look at how they're building and retooling the roster. Is it the same portal class that they had last year? No, but you bring in Brendan Swordsman, you paying him a hefty penny, making $5 million. Lord have mercy. But you go get him a weapon in Malcolm Simmons that can help him out. And I think Texas Tech fans should be excited. No disrespect to their previous quarterback, Brandon Morton, but I think Brendan Swordsman is way better than him. You know, and I do think that, you know, he's not going to turn over the ball. You look at his numbers, he had like 28 touchdowns and just 5 interceptions, right? This guy takes care of the football. He plays well on the big stage, and now you got some weapons to go with him. And if you're Malcolm, I know he got probably some decent money from this deal because Texas Tech got it, and you get to go be a dynamic playmaker.
Facts, not facts. Malcolm Simmons, we saw him in person once. Once was all we needed. Young man's electric. We saw what he did at Auburn this year to meet sample size because of quarterback situations. That's why Auburn got to figure out that thing, man. You could have had Malcolm Simmons. You could have had Eric Singleton Jr., Cam Coleman for another year or possibly last year for a championship if you would have you together. But you don't. So, you know, Malcolm Simmons is now in the big state of Texas from Alabama, really from Jonesboro, I believe, from the South Side.
Yeah,
Different down here on the South Side. Look at gun and one of that. That's another conversation for another day. But in Texas, $5 million. Congratulations to your brother. You know what I mean? Another black man from the South Side going against the odds.
That was Swordsby.
So, I'm sorry, Swordsby. But Malcolm Simmons he's getting a nice check. So salute to your brother for you know what I'm saying, going against the odds and making something out of yourself, as they say, turn into a fine young man. Pause. So salute to Malcolm Simmons, man, coming from the South Side to Alabama, playing at Benjamin Russell to Auburn. Now going to the big state of Texas.
Yes, yeah, going to Lubbock officially. All right, Jimmy, we see you tapped in. What do you guys think Juju going to look like in that go-go offense? I think he's going to be pretty good. I like Juju. I think they just got to surround him with the talent. I got to go back and see what they added in the portal at wide receiver. They lost Draylon Miller. They lost Amarian Miller, who's at Arizona State now. So I got to see what they added. I do like the different pieces he's going to bring in with him in the 2026 class that can help out. But the key is just going to be surrounding him with the weapons. You got the quarterback now, in my humble opinion, for Colorado. You've been having question marks there. Kaden Salter didn't pan out. The backup that you had, I think Staub, he didn't pan out. He just transferred out. But I think he's going to look good. This will be a big year for him. Spring's going to give us a good glimpse, a good little early test, good taste to see what he's going to be like. And then I think from there, man, he should take that next step this year.
Nah, facts, man. In the world, the future should be sensational. You know what I mean? Julian Lewis, another player we've seen more than one time. We just got that it factor to him. I know that word has been thrown around a lot, but Julian Lewis to me is a dissector with the football in his hands. Got a mind for the game. He's a gamer. Bringing in Bo Hewley as well as the other offensive lineman that they brought in. He's got some receivers on the outside already. Running back is a position that I would like for Colorado to put a little more attention to. But I believe offensive line holds up, it'll be fine.
100%. All right, guys, we're going to leave it there. We're going to take a quick break. Thank our sponsor before we get into more transfer portal news. E4L, Empowered for Life. So we're going to run an ad from our sponsor. We'll be right back.
Hey, are you an athlete that needs some help in recruiting and wants to get out there, get some exposure, and be tapped in and aligned with college coaches from NAI to D2, HBCU, all the way to the D1 level? Well, look no further, man. Tap into a powerful life where you could become a part of the family and get empowered, poured into mentally, physically, and spiritually on and off the court. Hit that link below and tap in and get some exposure and be empowered for life.
All right, there you have it, man. Empowered for Life. Get it down below, man. Shout out to all of our sponsors. EmpoweredForLifeAthletes.com/contact. And remember, if you guys want to be a sponsor of the show, make sure you guys hit us. All of our contact information is down below at Najee Wook on all platforms, at NajeeWook@gmail.com. Also, Bacon Network 47 at gmail.com, and Bacon Network on all platforms. So y'all holler at us if you want to be a sponsor on the show. Appreciate Mr. Teagle for supporting us and everything that we do as we continue to try to grow this platform for everybody, players, athletes on the high school and the collegiate levels.
100%, brother. If you're in the chat, if you're watching, man, get on your phone and say something in the chat for the people, man. But appreciate you as always, brother.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that. All right, we got more news. Let me see if we got any questions on Instagram, Bacon. I did send out a poll. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
See if anybody asked anything. Okay, this one is from Wesley. Yep, shout out Wesley Powell, man. He said Carrollton reloading with Jamie Lee.
What did he say?
He said Carrollton's reloading with Jamie Lee.
Jamie Lee. Football. Jameer Lee?
I think that's what he's talking about. Yep. Yeah, he came from Benedictine. Yeah, he transferred over from Benedictine all the way over there.
Wow.
Nah, I mean, yeah, that's a massive move for the defensive line. If you're watching this, Wesley, obviously we'll pull this up later. But yeah, no, I mean, massive move for the defensive line, everything they're trying to, build and going forward for Carrollton. We know the trenches have always been good. You look at Zakai Helton, he was big in the state championship game. But yeah, Jameer Lee, he's a 3-star prospect. Really good pass rush, good lower body extremities, and being able to use his hands to get past people. Good lower body strength. So yeah, I think with him moving to Carrollton, that'll only help him. And you look at the development of some of the guys on the defensive line, Caden Spratling, right? He tore it up in the state championship game. Like they did what they were supposed to do. Him and Zakai Helton, CJ Gamble. So when you look at kind of a factory and producing talent and developing it, Carrollton is in. I think, like you said, I think that's an elite get for their program. Is only going to help them moving forward.
Has anybody posted this anywhere? I don't see it on his Twitter. I haven't been on his Instagram.
It is on his Twitter. Here is the post. I will pull it up for you guys. I even asked him if he needed me to make a graphic for him because I know if I would have did it, probably would have went stupid. But he got 51.2K, so that's decent. But he says, I have transferred to Carrollton High School after previously attending Benedictine Military School. I'm excited for this new chapter, grateful for the foundation Benedictine gave me, and ready to grow both academically and athletically at Carrollton, class of 2028. So he will be a junior this upcoming season.
That's interesting. Yeah, I think it's an exposure move. Benedictine is a fine program. It's all boys school. It lets you know everything you need to know. It's a lot of dog. It's a lot of not coddling. I'm assuming that Benedictine, which is good. I think that's why you saw Damian Guyton go down there, get that final tune-up before he reclassed. But coming to Carrollton is just an exposure move. We're going to play at least 1 or 2 national games, get on TV, 3-star, probably a 4-star at the end of the year, just the politics of the game. But it's a good move for not just Lee, but Carrollton as well.
Period. Thank you, Wesley. As always, we'll post the response on the story so you can see it, brother. We appreciate all of the engagement as we continue to try to grow, brother. So appreciate that. All right, back to the college football transfer portal. Bacon, I got to get your reaction to this. I know we're going to talk about the game, and I can't wait to get your reaction from the games this past weekend. But damn, that's a hell of a move again for Dan Lanning. I mean, I think 3rd consecutive year, Bacon, he's hit on a college football transfer portal quarterback. I'll take you back, Bacon. Hit on Bo Nix from Auburn. We've seen what they was able to do a few years ago. This past year with Dante Morris, his quarterback, UCLA, he was in the Heisman conversation at one point. Kind of tapered off a little bit towards the end of the year. Didn't have his best game against Texas Tech. Didn't really have his best game in obviously the Peach Bowl in Atlanta. But talk about hitting on a guy. I think Dylan Raiola is how you do it. And I'm surprised because I thought Raiola was going to go out east again, and go with either Louisville or ACC school. Maybe even Virginia, but obviously it fell through. So now Dylan Raiola, very interesting to say the least. He is going out west again, where he's originally from, I think, Arizona, and will be playing for the Oregon Ducks.
Yeah, I thought he was coming out east too, man. I had already locked it in my mind. All right, well, he's out west, but I mean out east. But this is a big gift for Dan Lanning. I'm sure, Raiola. You can smell that Nike contract. Uniforms look nice. You got tired of that Adidas. Can't blame him. I like Adidas. But it's a similar thing we talked about earlier in the show on the high school segment. Dan's got to get it done in the big games. He's got to get it done in the big games.
No, don't leave too much because you got to break down your reaction later.
All right, for sure.
Yeah. For sure. All right. That's your reaction, though, man. Oregon getting Dylan Raiola again. I would say probably one of the top quarterbacks. That was still available. So a really good gift for Dan Lanning. But like Baker said, got to win the big games. We'll talk more on that point a little bit later on in the show. So stay tuned for that. All right, let's see other major. All right, Bacon, we got to talk about it, brother. Oh my Lord, Texas was cooking, but hot fire and fish grease yesterday. We're gonna start with one of the moves. Hollywood Smothers. Now, Alabama fans is pissed about this one because he committed to Alabama, even enrolled in class. But apparently, Bacon, he never even signed. Never signed on the dotted line. Texas got in that thing. Said, come on now. And Texas get Hollywood Smothers, 957 yards rushing last year, 6 tubs, one of the best backs in the ACC, let alone the country. This is an elite get for Texas. And they also got Malik Brown from Arizona State to pair with Hollywood Smothers. And 4 of their former running backs have hit the transfer portal. C.J. Baxter, who found a new home in Kentucky, also had Contravian Wisner as well, who was a big part of their success in 2024 when they had Quinn Ewers as the quarterback.
Alabama. You got a good freshman coming in. So, I think it'll be fine. You definitely want to get some insurance money. But nonetheless, it's a big move. Sark, obviously that Texas money is deep down there too. What's the name of that? What's the name of the cow?
Who?
Bevo. I'm talking about, Bevo, man. Apparently they haven't killed any of the Bevos since the first one, due to the depression. But whatever stakes they're selling, you get a nice return on investment. Hollywood Smothers going to Texas is going to be tough. I think Arch Manning might give him a champ. Might give him a chip next year, brother. It's looking nice.
All right. Hold your horses. We got to talk about the other move too. Hold your horses. Hold your horses.
All right.
Hold your
I'm
horses.
on Bevo, brother. You got give me 8 seconds.
Now this one right here. Oh Lord. Hey, I told you though. I told you about this. I told you about that move. And you were like, oh, I told you this made too much sense because like Arch Manning has not had a wide receiver one. I don't care what no Texas fan got to say, bro. I don't care what y'all got to say. Parker Livingstone, who they told to go hit the portal, he ended up at Oklahoma. Like, you go look, Arch never played with Matthew Golden. Arch never played with them receivers that Quinn Ewers played with, right? Night and day. No disrespect to DeAndre Moore, who's in the portal right now, unavailable. I think Georgia Tech should go after him and try to go get him. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to none of those guys they had. This Ryan Wingo. Ryan Wingo ain't this man right here. You know what I'm saying? Night and day. You got an 80-20 ball catcher right here. You know what I'm saying? Deep ball threat, yak yards, break tackles, make big plays, spin-offs, route runner. Some Auburn fans feel like he's an average route runner. No, y'all did not never had a quarterback. So for Arch, who just torched Michigan in that bowl game with over 360 and some change, yeah, he got him one in Cam Coleman. He got him one. And like you said, now you can see your point, Bacon. I do agree. It's not here a bust. Now it's early in the offseason. It's early, Bacon. But it's not here a bust. You get him, and then he's got Rasheed Biles from Pittsburgh, who had over 100 tackles. And I know you've seen that game what Pittsburgh did to Georgia Tech. Him and Kyle Lewis, Lord.
Man, it wrecked that game, bro.
Come on, bro. So now you tell me a linebacker, you got a game record with Colin Simmons on the edge? Lord. And then you got probably one of the best true freshmen DBs in Grayson Littleton. You can move all over the field. Lord have mercy. And then you got two to three more offensive linemen that re-signed up. Yeah, okay. Natty or bust for Texas. Natty or bust.
Natty or bust. Facts. Signetti. We'll see if you can do a repeat. Nah, Texas should win next year, man. Place your bets early. You know what I mean? Get on prize picks, whatever. We don't co-sign sports gambling on here because I believe neither one of us do outside of our annual fantasy football league that I happen to come in third place this year.
Congratulations, brother. You got you some coins finally. Congratulations.
We don't congratulate third place, brother. We definitely
What?
we don't congratulate. We only congratulate first place, brother. Brother, I got the money back that I put in. I was being kind. I said, "Hey man, thank you for the money." All right, come on. I appreciate it. But nah, we was making on that. We was making on that big money, man. What happened, brother? I don't know how it happened, honestly. I had Devontae Smith on my bench for some scrub. Playing for Minnesota. I said, I clipped myself. I was hoping it wouldn't matter. But hey, man, it happens, man. Well, we can only assess the problem, reset our nervous system, and move forward. But back to the matter at hand, man. Place your bets early on Texas. You know what I mean? Buy your hotel rooms. Do everything you can. Book your flight if you got it. Because these boys going to the chip. I'm on the bandwagon.
Yeah. The moves they made, Texas should be there. You get Will Muschamp, one of the best defensive minds, as your defensive coordinator. Get him away from obviously Texas. They went and got Blake Gideon, and that's a mixed bag. A lot of Georgia Tech fans didn't like him, but now he's a high-ranking defensive analyst for them. And he got that 1 year of experience with Georgia Tech. Yeah, Texas is going to be a problem.
Man, Blake was good, man. They hating on Blake. They
didn't like him, you know what I'm saying? But I thought, well, what he had, he did what he could. You know what I'm saying? He did what he could. But yeah, Texas is going to be a problem next year, for sure. For sure. All right. Bacon, let's talk about this one, man. This is very interesting. You know him well as well. This is Justice Haynes, formerly played at Alabama, transferred over to Michigan, high school days, played at BT before playing that final year with Buford. Kid was explosive, ran for over 800 yards, 10 touchdowns before he went down with an injury. Jordan Marshall, they re-signed, so he hit the portal. But the crazy part is he's hit the portal, Bacon, with a do not contact tag, which basically already means he knows his next destination, right? Now, Georgia Tech has been linked in this conversation, Bacon, and I'm going to go and put it out here, and I'm going to get your reaction. If Georgia Tech lands him, yeah, I like that. Yeah, put it just like that. Yeah, I like that. Put it back. If Georgia Tech lands him, you look the hell out. They're going to be a goddamn problem. I don't care what nobody says. A problem. You know what I'm saying? Because when healthy, that's a home run hitter right there. A home run hitter. He don't miss. Him and Malachi Hosley in the backfield, and you got Jalen Mbakwe. Lord, you just gonna need probably about two more pieces in that wide receiver room, pass catcher room. I mean, that's gonna feed families right there. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna see what happens. We haven't heard nothing. They hit the portal, but he one of the best backs available right now. And if you Georgia Tech, you want to change the trajectory of your program. You want to get to that 10-win threshold.
That's fact.
You go get a guy like this. Now, for Georgia Tech fans that says, nah, she's not worth $3 million, man. Look, y'all just got two anonymous donations worth $10 million a piece. Sometimes you got to make moves like this, man. You got to make moves like this. You want to take that next step, man. And last thing, I'm throwing the bacon. Remember, y'all is in Atlanta, and it's Georgia Tech. Now, why do I bring that up?
Yeah.
Do you know that 1 in 3 people that graduate from Georgia Tech is a millionaire? Think about all the CEOs, top corporate people. They've come from Tech. So, Georgia Tech really a sleeping giant. Because all they got to do is get a couple of donations from these people. And they're right back on the map. They could be a Texas Tech. You know what I'm saying? They could be a Texas A&M in the portal. Why they can't? They got to start donating, obviously, into the Alexander Dart Fund, which is the NIL fund. And I guarantee you, if you start seeing big donations like that, look the hell out. Look at Indiana. Mark Cuban, alumni. Donating money to them. This is what you got to do, brother. This is the new, exactly. This is the new college football. The Tech alumni, y'all want to see our team get back to what they was doing in the 90s and winning them 4 national championships? Y'all got to start donating. You know what I'm saying? Got to start donating. Period.
Listen, man, I can't trust no team that let Rudy or Rudiger, you know what I mean, get a sack on him in the championship if you see the movie Rudy. I only brought that up because I've seen that movie for the first time this weekend. But in all seriousness, this would be a big get, man. That'd have your old grandpa sit up straight, have his sleep. You know what I mean? Hear about Justice Haynes, if you know who that is, possibly coming to Atlanta. Justice Haynes is for real. Man, he's so big time. I can't even. It just don't feel real to feel him coming to Georgia Tech. But he's coming home though. If he does come home,
He's coming home.
That'd be big, man. Like Nah just said, man. You know, for Tech fans watching this, if you're an alumni, you got that contact in your phone. Text him every day. Blow him up. We got to get Jimmy, Sarah. Cam is from the Bi-City area, repping Central. Yeah, for sure, Central Phoenix City. Red Devils. We got football in the Chattahoochee Valley. That's facts.
Good football. Yep, good football. Mm-hmm.
That's facts. But yeah, Justice Haynes' Tech will be monstrous. For him to have that non-contact clause is I ain't gonna lie, man. That's the best way to go. If you got it like that.
I'm telling you. So Massive, man, we'll continue to follow this. If we hear any news, if he hits the destination this week, we'll respond on Monday as always, as y'all boys already know. You know what I'm saying? So that's massive, man. Like I said, you want to change the trajectory of your program and you Tech, that's how you do it, brother. So we're gonna find out, we're gonna see as we leave it there. Excuse me. Thank you, Around the Way Sports, brother. Always appreciate y'all boys tuning in, man. Y'all big supporters, man. We appreciate y'all all love, man. Like I said, let us know when y'all boys want to connect. And definitely let us know, you know what I'm saying, when y'all boys want to let us know when y'all want to connect, and let us know when y'all want to tap in again, brother. Let me say, Naja, you say there like a Columbus ninja. Hey, Jimmy is hilarious.
706. He spent more time than that in 706, man.
Yeah, man. I don't mind coming down there, man. I just got to get some connects out there in Columbus, man. Just got to connect with more of the coaches, man. The more coaching connections you have, brother, the better. Because we see coaches go from high school to college to position coach to head coach, man. So really trying to expand it, man. But yeah, I might be down there, man. If I get a couple little connects down there, I might be down.
Nah, we're going to be down there for sure.
MLK Showcase next Monday at Luella. Y'all boys want to collab. Ooh, okay. Got to see. Bacon usually works, brother, so he might be tough for him to go. Well, I'm not too far from where I'm at, but I might have to check it out. See what I got going next Monday. If I'm free, I'm gonna definitely hit y'all boys and see what's popping.
First of all, MLK Day should be a national holiday. We should all have our work on MLK Day. That's neither here nor there.
That's facts. That is facts. All right, Bacon. It is your time. Hold on, let me pull up this graphic for you so you can get your reaction on, because I got to get your reactions from these playoffs, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Pull it up. And then we got to get your game picks because the Natty is next Monday. So we got to do that as well. Hold on 1 second.
You good.
All right, Bacon. Floor is yours, brother. Peach Bowl, Indiana, routes. Oregon, 56-22. Your reaction.
This is a shame, man. Oregon Ducks came in like the Mighty Ducks and left out like Donald Duck from Disney. The game was atrocious. They couldn't stop the run. They couldn't stop the pass, and they got garbage time touchdowns. I was at La Prix eating my tacos, highly disappointed at what I was watching. Dan Lanning came in with all this confidence and bravado. Dante Moore, who I like a lot. I can't blame his more brother DeCorian Moore because he's a freshman. But just abysmal football. That I will say the bright side of Oregon that I did like is that linebacker who came up big for them when it was in garbage time. But I did like it. I like his performance. Has had a stellar performance this year as well. But Kirstie Netty and from Fernando Mendoza, the boys look unbeatable, man. Good luck to you and your Hurricanes, because y'all gonna need it. But y'all defensive line could be the equalizer. I like our weapons, but y'all gonna need it.
Facts. Yeah, my reaction is just like, yeah, bro, you can't start the game that way, bro. Like, you threw a pick six the first play, that sets the tone, bro. Like, you're not even giving your defense a chance. And you got guys like Tua Toye, you got guys like Ugale, you got Brandon Finney Jr., who had his best game as a college player last time out, right? 5 tackles, 2 interceptions, and I think a fumble recovery. Like, you just can't have it, brother. Like, you're putting your team in a rock and a hard place. Obviously dealing with injuries. I didn't see Jordan Davison out there or Whittington, who was big. I think they got a little banged up, but they were not out there in this game. But if you Oregon, it's just like every time it's a big game where it's going to decide if you're going to go to a CFP championship game or something like that, they don't come through. I don't know what that is. I believe in Dan Lanning, but they always feel ill prepared. Always. I don't know what that is. It's just like they're too good of a program with all the 5 stars and 4 stars they get. Like, they should be winning these type of games. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think Indiana got 4 stars, no 5 stars. You know what I'm saying? So it be head scratching a little bit, with them. It'd be a little head scratching for me, Bacon, when it comes to that, for them. And yeah, like I said, Indiana, you can't spot them no points, dog. You can't. You can't spot them boys no points. And you better be physical, because if you ain't physical, they're gonna run you in the dirt. You know what I'm saying? That plain and simple. And I like that. Usually Roman Hemby's the guy to know, but Keelan Black showed that he could be a great 1-2 punch with him. So the numbers ain't gonna be guarded because the defense handle business, give them a bunch of short fields with fumbles and punts and things like that. But yeah, man.
We had a block punt in the Peach semi. It's bad, bro.
It's bad, man. But they got weapons all over. Mark Cooper Jr., Charlie Becker, Elijah Surratt. So yeah, man. Just disappointed in Oregon for the most part, man. Disappointed.
I don't even know what to say, man. Dan, I ain't gonna lie, man. I understand Dan just got Dylan Raiola, but he got to be on the hot seat, bro. It's time. It might be time to change the tide, man.
Hot seat's a little harsh.
56 points.
A little harsh. That's Indiana, though, brother.
That's the cream of the crop. You got to rise to the occasion when you're playing the cream.
You ain't called for Kalen DeBoer job.
Nah. To me, bro, Kalen DeBoer, he's on the hot seat too. He's always on the hot seat, man, because he coming up after Nick Saban, man. He hasn't rose to the occasion. Last year was lackluster. This year was subpar. Next year, we got to see you put the meat on the bone, man. You couldn't run the ball last year. That's always been an Alabama staple. There's certain things that you got to do when you put on that Crimson Tide red. Now, Ty Simpson, I'm going to give you a pass. Keelan Russell coming down is going to be a little bit more of a game changer, if you will, though I know Ty was in the Heisman race. But you got to have somebody that's able to make plays on the run a little bit more improvised, especially when your running game is non-existent.
And that was their biggest problem. That's all Alabama fans were talking about, which is why they were excited about the Hollywood Smothers move, because they need backs. The offensive line has to play better, but yeah, they need backs and they need a running game. When Alabama plays good, it's their running game. And it was not good this year, unfortunately, with Jam Miller and Daniel Hill. They needed more consistent and they needed better than what they've been having it so far.
I'm glad you brought that up. That's another thing, man. Camp ain't tight. Man ain't signed. You out here sending news to On 3. Man ain't signed. Nick Saban would have never done nothing like that, man. You got to get it. Might well just let him go now, man. Camp ain't tight. You got people, oh, what? Okay. Yeah, man, we got him. We got him. No, you didn't. No, you didn't have him. It's a shame, man. Laughing stock of college football right now.
Yeah, because they were supposed to get Cam Coleman too, and both of those fell through. So yeah. Tough spot, man. But nah, we'll see, man. You know what I'm saying? I think give Dan Lanning one more year. If they look like that again, whoo,
Hot seat. Sound like he's on the hot seat.
yeah, man. He gonna have to get it together. All right, man. Let's talk about this one, man. Miami, Ole Miss. I'll start this one off, Bacon. Just I was thoroughly impressed. I thought Carson Beck, man. I was nervous. As I told y'all. That's how I felt. You know what I'm saying? Because all season he's been that court. When we lose games, he don't play the best, right? At one point he had 19 yards and a pick. You know what I'm saying? The second half. We're struggling, but led us on those drives, right? We went back and forth with Ole Miss, and he led that game-winning drive. Didn't force the ball to Malachi Tony with that backer sitting right there. Decided to run the ball instead, and that was the best decision he made, which worked out in our favor. So credit to him, man, just coming up with big plays and doing what he was supposed to do. He now that game specifically, he won that game for us. I'm going to put that out there. He won that game for us. When we struggled in several situations, our corners was banged up. One got thrown out of the game for targeting. We ran the ball pretty good when it came to Fletcher and Shamar Brown. I like what they was able to do, but Beck really led us in that game. Him and Keelan Marion, Malachi Tony, they did what they were supposed to do, man. Defensive line didn't play that well, Bacon. Ruben Bain didn't have as much pressure as they could have. Akeem Messendor, like they don't think maybe one sack if that. But they did not get back there a lot. So great win, gaudy win for us, and you'll take it.
Yeah, you'll take it, man. I think when you look at Chambliss, he's more of a mobile quarterback. It's gonna be tougher to get somebody like that on the ground. So I wasn't necessarily worried about that. I know Mendoza he's a throwing a run type of guy, not probably as athletic as Chambliss. I expect Miami Hurricane defensive line to rebound significantly next week, next Monday. Now, in regards to Carson Beck. Oh, yeah, as you see here, 23 of 37, 277, one touchdown. But we look at the rushing, 5 for 7. So they kept it contained to a certain degree. So hats off to the defensive line and defensive line coach of Miami. But back to his Carson Beck. I told you at the beginning of the year, brother, I said this football is the sports thing in general, man. It's all psychology, right? Carson Beck transferred to Miami. What happened to him? Got hit with adversity early. Girlfriend left him. Car got stolen. When you put a man who's got all the talent in the world to be successful, you put a man like that, put his back against the wall, he got no choice but to go up. And you find Carson Beck yet again at the seat of the table for eating this cake.
I'm a reserve because usually when you pump up players, they end up disappointing you. But like I said, I'm gonna give him his flowers for that game, Bacon. But I know you was been high on him. I credit you for the offseason. I need to see it one more time, right? Before I fully get the flowers and rendezvous and round of applause, I need to see it one more time. And you're going up against a damn good defense in Indiana. So I do give him flowers for this game. The full, I was wrong. I got to see what you do in the national championship game.
But you
that's why I have 2 interceptions. Yeah, but he ain't been the sole purpose. That's what I said. He won that game, but when you look at Texas A&M, he didn't win that damn game.
Yeah,
there's that damn defense. 7 sacks on his. You know what I'm saying? They won that game. You feel me? Who else did they play? We just talked about Ole Miss. Who did they play before that?
They played Ole Miss and they played Georgia.
Nah, they didn't play Georgia. Ole Miss beat Georgia.
I'm sorry.
Who did Miami play? Ohio State. That game. Yeah.
He was the X factor though. You know what I mean? What's
plays,
couldn't show up to play.
Yeah, but that defense was getting after Julian Sand. You know what I'm saying? So they've been kind of winning despite him a little bit, but that game there, I give him his flowers. He won that one.
We'll see. I mean, I can't say that I'm expecting y'all to win. I've already said I think Indiana's going to win, though I didn't think y'all would get this far.
Nobody did. Nobody did. It's okay. Nobody did. I'm glad though, because then you can put some damn respect on the ACC. And I hated watching. Yeah, man, I hated watching First Take because Miami, they're really an SEC team and an ACC by like stop. The
Said that,
SEC is
Steven?
not what it was. Yeah, Ryan Clark said that. Like, bro, what are we talking about?
Like Ryan.
Yo, stop. The SEC ain't what it used to be. Everybody has pink now. Everybody has alumni fund. Everybody has NIL. Everybody has revenue share. It ain't what it used to be. The SEC has to adjust now. They ain't been to the national championship in 3 years. Three
There's
years.
2 teams in there though.
3. So enough.
Or 3,
No.
4. They have 4 teams in the playoffs this year, right?
And how far did they go?
But that's more than any other conference.
I wonder why, Bacon.
Touche.
Okay.
So,
So don't have a problem with the SEC. SEC is cool. But y'all try to act like, oh, well, Big Ten is way below and the ACC is way below and Big Ten can't compete. Like, enough.
yes, enough.
Enough. All these teams can compete, bro. All these teams can compete. And I have respect for the SEC, but stop acting like SEC, Big Ten. No, it's this. It's this. It's this. Anybody can win. Anybody can win. So enough. I just had to get that out. Sheesh.
Nah, well said, brother. Well
Enough's
said.
enough. All right. Now, let's talk about this matchup, and then we're going to get to a round of sports question because they asked a good one in the comments. Let's break down this matchup, Bacon. Miami, Indiana. I'll start us off, breaking down the matchup. Who going to come out top? Look, it's pretty simple. They almost got to force Fernando Mendoza to have like his worst game, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have to batter and bruise him. They're going to have to plaster them receivers, and they're going to have to slow down the running game. You know what I'm saying? Bissandi, guys like Ruben Bain, Akeem Messendor, they're going to have to be on them all night. And they're going to have to play with a level of physicality like they've been playing all damn year. Because that's the only way you're going to beat this This Indiana team plays like an Alabama team. You know what I'm saying? They're very physical at the point of attack, and they maul your ass. So you can't come in here all soft. No, they're going to have to come in this thing ready to go. Ready to go because they're not playing around. And they're going to have to limit the big plays defensively, get pressure on him, and force some punts. Simple as that. And they're going to have to adjust in the second half when Kirk Cincinnati adjusts. Offensively, do not turn over the ball. I'll say it again. Do not turn over the ball because you give him a short field, he going to make you pay. Period. He going to make you pay. Get Mark Fletcher, Shamar Brown involved as much as you can. If they shut down the running game, Beck, the national the natty is in your hands because that is all plausible. That can all happen. They can shut down that damn running game. Beck, you go beat us. Now, for Beck, you've won 6 AP top 25 games this year. Much respect to you, brother. Last time we did that, we won a natty. You're going to have to do it again. And it might be a situation where you're going to have to slice it nice. Now, D'Angelo Pons on the outside is elite. All Big Ten. He is him. We're going to need Malachi Toney to win on the slot and on the inside because likely Pons is going to follow either Marion or CJ Daniels. JoJo Trader needs you to step up, right? Tight ends need you to step up. But Tony's going to be the X factor because he's in a slot and it's hard as hell to double the slot. If we get one-on-one coverage, we're going to have to eat off that because we can't eat on one-on-one coverage. We're in a damn world of trouble, especially if they stop our run. Can't be one-dimensional. Stick with the run, 3-4 yards, take what the defense gave you. Period. If you can do that, got a shot.
See, that's another thing where Beck's got to be on his P's and Q's. I know you remember that seam, Tony up the middle of the seam. Beck caught a little pressure. I'm not sure why he threw the ball a little left. If he threw the ball more, he threw it left. He threw the ball more vertical right. Touchdown. I know you remember it was like third quarter.
Yep.
You got to hit on those things. If Malachi Toney is an X factor, you got to hit on those things. I expect Miami to be clicking on all cylinders. Beck is the X factor to me. It all runs through Beck. I think everybody else will be dialed in. We already know what Indiana's gonna do. Now I was this close to giving y'all the dub just now by flipping my decision. Well, I can't forget about Chris Tobal having this coaching debacles. We remember what he did last year. Cam Ward, was it Pop-Tart Bowl? Where they lost a couple years back. He's blown some games at the end. And Cignetti's from that Nick Saban tree. Very tough.
So it's Cristobal.
What's that?
So it's Cristobal.
Chris, I understand, but you know what I mean. Signetti be on the sideline like this, looking at that playbook. You know what I mean? He a little more locked in. You know what I mean? So I expect Signetti to out-coach Tobal. Though I like Chris Tobal, does a lot for the players that I cover. You know what I mean? But I like Signetti, man. I like Signetti.
I respect it. What's your score prediction? The guy around the way says 35-24 Indiana.
35, I think I think it may be 35-24. That's not a bad score, bro. That's not a bad score. I'm gonna go for more of a theatrical game. I'm gonna go let's go 35-33. 35-33.
I'm gonna go 28. No, 31-28 Canes. You know what I'm saying? I gotta roll with my team. 31-28 Canes. But all I'm hoping this is like not similar to the Ole Miss game, but I don't want this to be a butt whooping. Like I want this to be a back and forth. Like, damn, this is the best natty we didn't have in a minute. Like both teams throwing haymakers, making plays. Like that's what I want to see, bro. This is the natty. This is for the nitty gritty. This is for it all. I want it to go back and forth. I want an elite contest between two former Saban disciples. And I want them to throw haymakers at each other. That's what I want to see. I want to see a good damn game, back and forth. And there's a lot to this game. And as you asked right here, do you think the rest will be on Miami side? Do some game? I don't know. They could be on Indiana side. You know what I'm saying? With them being the number one overall team. I don't know.
No,
You know
no, brother.
I
It's
don't know.
Miami, brother.
Yeah,
All right.
Hey, I don't know. These could be some SEC refs. I don't know.
Gotcha, man.
We
Want some of that?
We don't
You got
know.
your point. Get your finger ready.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Just all I say, do not dictate the game if you're the refs. Please, Lord, please don't do it. Let them boys play. All right. Number 2, Fernando Mendoza used to play in Miami. He was a mile away from the stadium at his high school. I think he played at Columbus. So that's another thing to go. He was returning back home. Very interesting. He's Cuban American. People didn't know that. There you go. So that's also very interesting as well. Jimmy Cassidy agrees with you. Beck had to get back to Florida. Now he's in his element.
Come on now. Florida water.
Uh.
Come on now. He out there eating he out there eating Cuban sandwiches. He good.
Yeah. Is the SEC really the powerhouse of college football still, or would you say no? No, it's not the powerhouse. No, I told y'all this. No, SEC is not the powerhouse no more. It's not even one conference no more. This stuff is so evenly distributed, like it don't even make sense. Go look at the bowl records. We pull up the bowl records, you'll see. I think ACC is 9-4 in terms of all the bowls, including the playoffs. SEC has a sub 500 record. No, everybody has caught up to the SEC.
No.
Yes.
It's in terms of getting recruits, SEC is still the powerhouse. We look at Indiana's roster. He has experience. He has 4 to 5 year players on that roster. Facts.
We ain't talking about recruits, damn it. If you're talking about recruits, you're right. We ain't talking about powerhouse of college football. Okay? You're 100% right. When it comes to, I want to play SEC ball. Yes. We talking about the past couple of years, if they still a powerhouse. The top of the SEC has not been into a natty in 3 seasons. They are no longer the powerhouse. Say what the hell you want. They're no longer the powerhouse. Notre Dame knocked out Georgia last year, right? We had Ohio State playing Notre Dame for the natty, right? Penn State also made the semifinals.
Yeah.
Right? Back to back. This making no BS. This could be if Indiana wins. And the SEC better hope Miami really wins, if we're being honest.
Facts.
This would be the 3rd consecutive year that a Big Ten school has won. Follow me now. That's 3 years. Michigan, Ohio State, and that's Indiana. Okay? That's all I'm saying. They're not the power anymore. It used to be. They still get the top recruits. But the last few years,
That's saying something. You still got the hearts and mind of the youth. That's big. But I will say I agree with you though. If Indiana wins this, I think that'll change it. I think, oh man, that's because it's Nick Saban, Signetti. Man, I'm going because a lot of people forget. Indiana was in Julian Lewis's top schools. And like, Indiana, why is he in Indiana? They ain't did nothing. That's why.
Well, to be honest, in that recruit, we weren't even thinking highly of Indiana, if we're being honest.
Facts.
Yeah, Indiana? What?
They're doing that money now.
Right. So,
very good point.
It's going to be a lot to talk about, but I around the way now. I don't think so, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's not to say, oh, well, the SEC can't compete. Obviously, they can compete. But, bro, next year, y'all got 9 SEC games. Y'all beating up on each other now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, ACC got the same thing. Big Ten has been had it. But 9 SEC games? By the time I get to the playoff, y'all going to be better than Bruce. At that point, all them injuries. Hey. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, man. I think people just caught up to the SEC. They ain't saying the Big 12 and then caught up. I ain't saying that. But remember, when the SEC wasn't winning chips, Bacon, who was those teams that was winning? It was the damn ACC. Clemson's was in there winning chips. Florida State's was in there winning chips. Yep. That's why I don't understand why they disrespect the ACC so much. Like, the ACC hasn't went toe-to-toe and beat the SEC for a chip.
They have been inconsistent.
They have the last few 100%. But let's not forget the history now.
That's facts.
That's all I'm saying.
Put your money on Texas for next year, guys. The SEC's back.
Hey, it might be, man. The moves they making. Haymakers.
No, I'm just playing though, man. Well, it's the parody of college football. It's another. We're in the golden era of college football, man. I hope just we're all taking this all in, man. It's not NFL football.
One day we're gonna wake up and you're gonna.
Yeah, it is. With all the paid now, and a lot of people don't like their kids getting paid, it's definitely pretty close. You know what I'm saying? In terms of just the allure. And that's why I cover it. Like, I was even having a discussion with my pops. I was like, why you cover like college football? I was like, just the fandom. It's hard to, compare. Like, NFL is elite. I love the NFL, but compared to like how crazy fans are, how much they be into it, you know how quickly you can grow in college football compared to NFL?
Facts.
And if you know what you're talking about, you know the players, and man, them fans, once they start supporting you,
locked in.
Rocket.
That's a fact, bro.
So I love CFB, man. It's nothing like it. The playoff game, like, I almost want them to expand. Some people don't want the expansion, but the playoff games are so fun, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've loved all the games for the most part, besides a couple blowouts, have been fun to watch. You know what I'm saying? The Miami's Ole Miss, the Miami's Ohio States. Those games have been fun. You just got to get the best 12 in there. You know what I'm saying? I love Group of 5. Get one of them in there. Cool. But they ain't on the brand level yet of all these top teams just yet. But get the best teams in, bro. Get like Notre Dame should have been in over, you know what I'm saying, James Madison. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, stuff. Texas should have been in over, you know what I'm saying? Like, get the best teams in. We want to see dynamite. We want to see Arch Manning on the road, going to Texas A&M, or on the road, going to Tennessee, coming out with a dub.
That'd be crazy. Tennessee.
Come on. Feed us the popcorn. That's the whole point of you hosting the games on campus for the first round, is to get it a playoff-like atmosphere. And we've seen that shit has been dynamite. Oklahoma was off the chain. I don't even know how the hell Alabama came back. But that's what we want to see. Give us that. And the ratings going to go through the roof. Period.
Nah, facts. Facts. Golden era for sure. And I like how the rivalries, so you get to see some old school rivalries kind of come back into play. I like that too.
Facts. All right, y'all. That's going to do it basically, man, for all of our topics, man. We're going to hit our questions now before we get up out of here. Najee, you like Aaron Follow to Florida? I don't know much about the GT transfer. Yeah, man. So for Follow, Bacon is still in this. He feels like if Follow would have played more, he would have stayed. I think it's all about rapport and relationship. I think he has a strong relationship with Buster Faulkner. They lost like 5 players from Georgia Tech to Florida. I don't know if you knew that. Luke Harpering, who's a Georgia Tech legacy, his pops played basketball. Matt Harpering, 3 seasons, has his jersey in the Raptors. He left for Florida. Harrison Mortar, offensive lineman, left for Florida. Right? Bailey Stockton, wide receiver, left for Florida. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Follow obviously left for Florida. So he got all of those players to come down to Florida. Now, all of them might not play now. You know what I'm saying? The wide receiver core looking a little crazy. But I think that he wanted him to be his quarterback 1 in the new regime under, obviously John Summerall. So not a bad move. You know what I'm saying? He's played some big games, won some big games. They upset Miami, number 4 Miami. I don't know if you remember that. My Hurricanes at home. When we had Cam Ward, number 1 overall pick, who was undefeated, number 4 team in the country at the time. That's when we kind of spiraled a little bit out of control. He upset us, and then he won a road game when Haynes King was hurt with his torn labrum. NC State Thursday night football. they ended up winning. So 5-0, like you look at the numbers, I'm not that impressed. But he's a guy that has that moxie. He's a guy that can win, obviously, those big moves and those big games, man, 100%.
Facts.
Nah, Jimmy, I disagree, man. SC's top heavy too. You can't say that no more, bro. SC is not king. No, I disagree with you, Jimmy. I'm glad you're a supporter, but they go ahead. Let's start.
Texas A&M, Georgia. Georgia. Said Texas. Ole Miss. You can throw Tennessee in there. They gonna throw 10 in there. Yeah, throw 10 in there.
Then you can throw Bama before Tennessee.
All right, so we had 6. My point.
I don't put Tennessee in there. Middle of the pack. Missouri, middle of the pack. They got beat by Virginia.
Vandy, 6.
Who?
It's Vandy.
I don't put Vandy's middle of the pack.
They could have made the CLB this year, bro.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
And on a good day,
coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Gamecock's a pretty good team, bro.
Revoked. No.
I understand that.
Next year's different game. Not this year. They were sorry.
Yeah, they were terrible this year.
Terrible. You know what I'm saying? So 5 decent teams. Okay.
6.
So 5.
6. So you're not taking Vandy serious, brother.
Anybody will mop the floor with them. What?
Didn't they win that bowl game? Close loss.
Again, y'all don't believe me. Go look up the bowl records. ACC is like 9-4 against the SEC. Like they got a sharp one. SEC like literally went sub 500, and y'all still saying they king. SEC's top heavy. SEC's top heavy. Brother. Mississippi State's the Kentucky's the middle of the pack. Like no. SEC is also top heavy. You know what I'm saying?
6 in the comment. Put 6 in the comment if you think it's 6. 5, you think it's 5.
No, bro.
6.
No. 5 solid teams, bro.
That's not even top 5. Ain't top heavy, bro. I'm thinking like 3, 2, 3 with top. And 5 is moderately decent. And 6
they got like what 16 teams in it.
Okay.
Hello,
hey, man. Oklahoma. We forgot about Oklahoma. 7.
I'll give you 6 on that. I'm not going 7. I'll give you 6. You know what I'm saying? 6. No. I disagree, Jimmy. No.
What do you think?
Thoughts on Dylan Raiola to Oregon? We answered that earlier, brother. We think good move, but comes down to Dan Lanning, man. Can he finally win big games? 3rd straight year he's had a solid quarterback.
Yeah, talk that shit, Jimmy.
Bo Nix, and Dante Moore. They've gotten obliterated the last 2 years. Last year in Pasadena in the Rose Bowl against Ohio State, they got obliterated in Atlanta. Good move, but gotta start winning those games. All those coaches on the Saban made their new teams de facto. Hey, I agree with that, Jimmy. Hey, yeah. I agree with that. Last one, did Colorado kill the transfer portal? Hey, they did cook. We just talked about that at the beginning of the show, so check that out. Around the way, they did cook in that portal, man. We talked about Boo Carter. We talked about Bo Hughley. Some of the pieces they got in, they definitely been cooking, man, and playing at a high level, man.
Out of conference player of the year type of players, man. I think, hey, I'm gonna sit back and watch. What's Bucky's YouTube? Well Off Media. Sit back and watch Well Off Media. Go to the source. You read these articles, yada. Go to the source, man. Let your eyes be the test.
Facts. But all right, Bacon, before we get out of here, man, I'm gonna throw it to you, brother. Any closing comments? Any hot takes? It's gonna be before we close out shows. I'm gonna go hot takes. Anything out of ordinary you want to talk about?
Nah, not right now, man. The beat is it's not what just give us some time. Give us some time. The news hadn't came to me yet. It's still kind of early. You know what I mean? It's still we just got into the new year and people getting back into things. You know what I mean? So give it some time, but enjoy yourself, man. It's 2026. Keep the promises to yourself. You know what I mean? Just keep things going. 2026 is going to be a big year. Bet on yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you got something you believe in, put effort into it. Nothing comes to a sleeper but a dream.
Facts. Last comment, do you think Dante will declare? Yes, I think he's going to declare. He's not coming back to Oregon with them just getting Dylan Raiola. Yeah. You don't pay Dylan Raiola that money, just sit on the bench. My thoughts. Closing comment, I'll say I agree with Bacon. He's been teaching me, so people have been teaching me just take time for yourself. You put so much in and you grind. It makes no sense if you grind, and then you get what you grinded for and you're burnt out, or you know what I'm saying, you can't enjoy the success. So, it's hard because it's a double-edged sword. I try to grind to, get to where I want to be at and have success. But it's not an easy road. You know what I'm saying? I'm walking this journey like with no mentors and kind of on my own. So, stay level headed, keep your mind sharp. As Bacon always say, keep some meditation going. Some Tai Chi. You know what I'm saying? You can do a little bit of that. Be at one with yourself. If you need inspiration, follow, different YouTubers, earn your leisure, get in your word, if you believe in God. If you don't, what I'm saying, try to find people that inspire you and motivate you. That can help you along your path and your way. If you feel stagnant, sometimes you gotta leave your hometown or where you at. Even if you could take a day trip, like just go see something new experience, right? Go and see your relatives, whatever it is. Do something that you're going to enjoy to kind of help reinvent yourself, get that spark. I think that's key in 2026. We're only 12 days in. The year's gonna go by fast, y'all. That's all I'm saying. It's gonna go fast. So if you got a workout goal, you got a career goal, you got a business goal, go do it. If you want to be around like-minded people that think on the level you think of, start surrounding yourself with like-minded people. Go to different things. You can go to seminars, right? A lot of people are always like, oh, I'm gonna go to this club, I'm gonna go to this. As you get older, start trying to better yourself, reinvent. Go to tech seminars, man, in Atlanta. Atlanta's a hub. Atlanta's a hub for so much stuff, it don't even make sense, right? Atlanta's a hub for sports, media, tech, business, entrepreneurship, crypto, whatever. Look up Atlanta events and whatever you're interested in, art. You know what I'm saying? And surround yourself around those people so you can get your foot in the door of where you want to be at in life. So,
Man, he said plain, man. Go ahead. Go ahead. I ain't mean to cut your wisdom, brother.
No, you good. So I just say that as a close up, man. Y'all make sure you obviously do all that. And what I'm saying, like I said, chase your goals, man. 2026, man. And like I said, you don't always have to move. Like Bacon said earlier in the show, telling people everything you're doing. Move in silence too. You know what I'm saying? Like I had a big goal this past week. I sent it to Bacon. Me and him real tight like that. Me hitting the leg press. I could have posted on IG, chose not to. Right? It's my progress. You know what I'm saying? So everything you do, you don't have to show. So stuff you could just keep, kind of to yourself and, document things, so how you've been progressing. But everything ain't for the world. Everything you do ain't for everybody. Saying sometimes you got to just move inside.
Like lasagna. And this last thing on that, man, the way he said, I know Naj well, I know myself well, man. So at this stage in our careers, man, we're like I'm not gonna say we're the OGs, but we know at the age we're at, man. We got some young bucks that's been watching us, have been studying every move. Because I was the same type of way when I was coming out of college, coming out of high school, and when you're not working, somebody else could be working. So it's a fine line between that dead zone. You gotta figure that out. But what separates you from the youth, or just whatever, I don't want to come up at you. What separates you from your competition is how you use your mind. So once you figure out how to master your mind, get in tune with your mind, and figure out what resonates with you, that's when the separation really happens. And that's what 2026 is gonna be for not just myself, but my brother to my left. Man, it's gonna be a big year. Stay tuned, stay locked in on everything, because you're not gonna want to miss.
Period, man. We'll leave y'all with that, man. We'll see y'all obviously in the next one, man. And y'all make sure y'all tune in on Thursday for our hoop show, man. We'll be back. We should have a couple of guests, and we'll be talking everything hoops, obviously in college basketball, in high school basketball, and women's college basketball and high school basketball as well. We'll see y'all then, man. Peace.